There's different words that are used and translated sin. One of them has to do is like an archery term, that there's a target and you miss the target. Another one is a word for trespass. Here's a line, you cross the line. We can say sin quite simply is anything that we say or do or think that is contrary to the nature of God. It's not just what God has said to do or not to do. It is who God is. Certainly, if God says don't do this and you do that, that's sin. And if God says do this and you don't do it, that's sin. Sin is broader than that. Sin is contrary to God's character, God's nature. And so when we think about righteousness, and sin being unrighteousness, not being right, not doing what's right, it's not doing which is consistent with God. Our conscience will convict us of sin or convict us of doing right or convict us of doing wrong, but you can feel guilty for something even though you didn't do what was wrong. Your conscience can say, yeah, that was bad. And maybe it's because of how we've been taught or those kinds of things that we feel guilty because we have a standard of right and wrong that's not necessarily accurate. And then on the other hand, we can sin and blatantly sin and have no sense of guilt. We know sin by God revealing Himself to us. So there's a sense in which when someone sins, they alone bear the responsibility for that sin, but we can sin and cause them to sin. We bear some responsibility for that. You know, many of us have gone through life and we've been exposed to bad things in a variety of different ways. And those experiences are real, but we have to accept responsibility for our own choices and how we respond to that. And sometimes we respond sinfully to sinful behaviors and actions of others, and we excuse our own sin because, well, they did this and therefore I'm this way. Repentance, the word repentance means a change of thinking. That's the literal meaning of repentance, which results in a change of direction. And so repentance is to change how you think and act. And so there's inherent in repentance faith. You haven't just changed your opinion, but you've changed what you believe, which results in a change of behavior. What God has done is God has extended forgiveness and done everything necessary for the restoration of the relationship. The price has been paid. His arms are open, so to speak, to restore the relationship. So forgiveness is extended. The relationship is not restored, though, until there is repentance. So it takes two to restore the relationship. Forgiveness is available for all people, but not all people are forgiven. Or their forgiveness is there, but they haven't engaged it. It's available. And so that's the difference between a saved person and an unsaved person. Is a saved person is through Christ, the forgiveness of God, the righteousness of Christ is imputed to them through faith. The unsaved person, that righteousness is available, it is extended, it has been paid, but it has not been imparted to their account because they lack faith. They haven't repented. Thank you for listening.